Oh, here it is. Oh, come on, get in there, fucker. What's up? Not much. You're gonna run for like half an hour or something about. Oh my goodness. I like how this is so full, it can't even really shake it. Can't even shake it that much. It's too filled. I mean, I actually prefer drinks that actually do fill it up all the way the fuck up, or at least as maximum as it could go. Because then you're getting your buck's worth at least. Okay. It's been hot as fuck down here. The high of 90 feels like 101. Gross, dude. Dude, it's been cold up here. It's actually been like legit fucking chill. It's goddamn fucking cloudy. It's... What's the degrees right now? Am I gonna get that? Or... Oh my god, there's... fucking notification. Okay, go on. That's the same. Okay. I'll do this. It's 54 degrees right now, dude. I shit you fucking not. 54 at 2:30 in the afternoon in fucking June. Still got an iron grinder full, bud. I love that. Surprise weed. I actually today ordered some upgrades for my rifle. So, I'm slowly but surely gonna officially make that the fucking gremlin. Like, that will be its name. This is gonna be... It's gonna be so weird by the time I finish it. I got a used Romanian wooden upper handguard. And then I got a Hungarian used pistol grip. And then I got a muzzle brake for it as well. So... Here, I can show you what I'm talking about. Just make sure you're not... Yeah. Cool. Okay. But, basically, I'm going to get a wooden upgrade on this, which will be a use piece, so it might actually have some wear and tear, some grime, decoration from somebody in the past. And then the next thing I want to get is a pistol grip right here, so get a Hungarian pistol grip to put right here instead, so... At least get a start into upgrading the thing, and then get it lower. And then, of course, the muzzle brake being changed as well. So it's gonna, the next one I get is gonna have like a little spike on the end of it. It's gonna be like a little spiky. So, I'm getting decent upgrades off of it right now. I'm not gonna worry about optic on it until later, honestly, just because that shit costs like fucking like for a good one, like if you want like one that's actually going to be lasting a while, it's going to be like 220, 250. And if you want like a really high quality one, like EOTech or some shit, that's going to be like fucking 400, 500 bucks. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So yeah, but at least until then I can get everything else upgraded, because the used parts that I found were like less than 20 bucks. Like the upper wooden handguard was 10 and the pistol grip was 15, I think. So and the muzzle brake was like 25, I think. So I'm just getting all the cheap parts out of the way on that thing first when upgrading it to make it officially the Gremlin. But there's some parts that are more expensive that I'm going to save up for, which is going to be the East German folding stock, the Russian parts that I want, mainly Zenico, which is going to be some modern parts, but either way. Outside of those, it'll essentially get most of its upgrades. Maybe do a barrel upgrade too, potentially. I have to be very specific about the barrel, though. I have to like really look hard, because I have to make sure that the barrel has the gas port for a shortened gas block, like that one. So I can't just grab any barrel, which is going to kind of suck. I kind of fucked myself over a little bit with that. Looks cooler. It's an AK, but it has a shorter gas port, so it looks cool. Yeah, well, parts are actually a little harder to come by. You know, at least when it comes to barrels and shit. And it took me a minute to figure out how to even work that muzzle brake, but you just have to hold that fucker and just as tight and as still as possible, and then just, you know, just use like your life essence to undo the fucking muzzle brake. That's pretty much just what you have to do. While with regular ones, there's this little, I mean, mine doesn't have it, but I can at least kind of show where, oh my god, there's straight up even a fucking spot for it. Oh my god, are you kidding me? So for most AKs, they have a little part that goes right, let me flip it around, that goes right here. That would be like a little button that you press, and that would be what you would help unscrew your shit. This one has it, but there's no way for it to work. Oh my god, wow. Like it would go right there, and then you would just, and there will be like a little slot in the muzzle brakes where you can loosen it up and help unscrew it. So you wouldn't have to put it as tight as fucking possible. It will be locked in place. So I can't believe, I didn't even notice that it has the button for it, but it does, like, you would have to get the most ridiculous long one to extend all the way out or some shit for that to even work. I don't even think it's set up to even have it. Like, I don't see how you can get that in there, because at that point it looks like you just slide it in there and there you go. But regular AK front sights don't have it like that. So, definitely a little different. I could tell they just basically took the front iron sights to an AK, at least the basic one, and then just molded it. I could just tell that's what they did with it, essentially. Because, I mean, I could see where some parts, you know, are in there. Glad they're finally giving you proper wages. No, no, they haven't. I'm not even getting paid what everyone else should be. I'm still getting fucked, and everyone else, and there's other people getting fucked too. Like some people only went up $1. Some people, you know, didn't get the full 1853. I sure shit didn't. Like, yeah, they went up, and not really. They went up technically a fucking quarter. Because everyone else is making $16.25 and shit before contract was implemented. And now I'm basically doing $16.50, which is going to be 25 cents a little more than what everyone else was previously making, which is what I should have been making before this bullshit. So no, not really. Thought you said something about them doing wage reform. Yeah. It's capitalism. Do you think they're going to just happily, you know, just give it to you and be like, oh, here you go. Oh, Clash Axe's suit? Well, now we're going to be suddenly honest fellows. Like, fuck no. I mean, it's just something you have to constantly fucking fight with these motherfuckers, because, like, they will do anything to fuck your wage over, no matter what. And there's been a few other people that have been there even longer than I have, and they're getting heavily fucked. So God forbid if you have seniority in a workplace, because what a company sees in that is a liability and somebody they don't want to give a pension to, and fucking have to pay the wages of, and they would just rather scalp them and fuck them over as many times till Sunday as possible, so they don't get back pay if new contracts come in and they get raises, or they get their pensions, or any of this shit. They want to make it so they quit, so they don't have opportunities to access any of the bennies that come in with working full-time in a workplace for multiple years. Like, it's just a way to fuck you over and endlessly. And of course, they don't want to be paying me or a bunch of other people that have been there for a while because, well, we want a bunch of young bucks to just be shut up and obedient and just, take the work like a cog in a machine, so... we can't have a bunch of old people that have experience and actually know what the fuck needs to be done and talk back on us and argue with us. No, we can't have that. So instead of giving the proper wages to those type of people, they bump it up either $1. They don't make them journeymen. They'll just fuck them over and like 8 waits till Sunday, cut out some of your overtime pay and shit. I noticed that with my last check. It's just like, even though I had a lot of different, talk about, I was about to fucking say. I saw your comment and it made me lose my thought. Fuck. Sid has freaking out because there's talk about AR-15s. He wants to buy another, but it's poor right now. Well, he's a fucking retard. Oh my god, they're banning AR-15, so I need like 50 of them now. It's like, shut the fuck up. And besides, good luck. No one's banning those. Like, yeah, people might talk about banning them, but no one, like, literally, nobody will ever ban those. Nobody. Like, there's not going to be any law or any legislation that will ban those fucking things. They're about as common as, like, I don't know, fucking 7-Eleven. Like, it's pretty much, like, when someone thinks of a gun, they think AR-15, they think the M16, they think that. Like, I mean, and, yeah, guess what? And when it comes to America, guess what's primarily manufactured when it comes to small arms? M16s, AR-15s, M4s, shit like that. So, if you're gonna ban that, you're banning, like, 90% of America's, like, gun economy. Like, straight up. And not just regular-ass AR-15s, but licensed builds as well. Because there's a bunch of other companies that fucking buy that shit, or buy the licensing to it and fucking use it. Make their own versions. Try to tell me that Taco banning them is not actually banning them, but you won't listen. Yeah, and also, yeah, like, honestly, they're more likely to do high-capacity magazine bans. Like, that is likely of what is gonna happen, and that's, one, fucking dumb, and two, if he's so worried about, like, bans, he should probably start buying high-capacity magazines, not fucking AR-15s, especially if he already has one, or 2, or 5, or 10. It's like, you don't need another one, you fucking dumb shit. Like, just fucking order some high-cap mags. Like, outside of upgrades to my gun, that's what I'm doing. I'm ordering, like, 40-round, 75-round drums and shit. Like, next time I order magazines, that's what I'm getting. And now I'm starting to realize how quickly, they're starting to become harder to find. I should have done that sooner, but... Either way. Oh, here, do this real quick, for a little background tunage. Right, there we go. Thinking back on that wage shift from a minute ago. I think I remember what I was gonna try to say from earlier on that. If I like fucking companies fucking fuck over people's seniority and shit. Because, the one dude that, there's a guy that works at meat department has been there for like 7+ years. And he fucking, like his, wage went from like $16.20 to only fucking $17.20. So it literally went up only a fucking $1. While for, like I said, for my shit, it went up too, but only because it was $14.35 and then went to $16.50. Which, yeah, is an increase, but no, it's not. If anything, it's just a wage decrease. It's like, oh yeah, it was very low, but we're just gonna like kind of bump it just so it's still stable. It's the equivalent of like getting 8 cents when you're making like 8 cents. It's like your wage went from 8 cents to like 16 cents. Which I guess back in the day that would actually be a pretty fucking insane amount, but still. God damn it. This little spray bottle is actually really nice and useful. Sometimes I get like a bowl that still wants to burn, so I just spray that bitch off so I don't have to fucking deal with that annoying smoke. Yeah, I get food. Oh, how dare you. How fucking dare you. You could starve, it's okay. I'm just kidding. Get yourself some food, you son of a bitch. Wait, what the hell? What's this little fucking random news blurb that I just got notified of? Something about Hong Kong. Huh? Explainer, why is China denying Hong Kong was a UK colony? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, dude, are you fucking... It's like, oh yes, we the Chinese state think that Hong Kong was not the UK colony now. So... oh my fucking god. So let's just erase, like, not just, you know, a section of history, but literally 100+ years of history. Like, hundreds of years of history. And just, like, what? Hong Kong is preparing to introduce new middle school textbooks that will deny the Chinese territory was ever a British colony. Then what the fuck was it all this time? China's communist rulers say that the semi-autonomous city and the nearby former Portuguese colony of Macau were merely occupied by foreign powers, that China never relinquished sovereignty over them. But they did. They literally did, though. The fucking, like, modern West and shit at the time basically went in there and was like, yo, we own this now, and the Chinese state was like, oh, okay, what do we get? A bunch of wealth, alright. So a bunch of warlords get funded by a bunch of colonizers, and they own a few places like Hong Kong and shit as a way to make that money, and to make their cut, and to oppress the people there, like... Like, what? They never fully relinquished? Yeah, they did. It's called a gun. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, my god, dude. It's so dumb. Bruh. This is like a bro moment. It's not a new position for China, but the move is further example of Beijing's determination to enforce its interpretation of history and events that, inculcate I've not seen that word before. Inculcate patriotism as it tightens its grip over Hong Kong following massive protests demanding democracy in 2019. I think I'm starting to see why they're against this. They're like, hey, those whole like Western democratic ideals that, you know, have basically been kind of ingrained in some of these people, maybe that's kind of a no-no. Because prior to all that, guess who owned Hong Kong? Britain. Weird. It's as if it was a colony of England. It's just like, God, dude, are we serious? I mean, obviously, it's not because they're being stupid. They're trying to enforce their fucking hyper Han Chinese style fucking nationalist supremacy and shit. Being a bunch of racist chuckle fucks. I mean, you know, that's really what it is, because they're just, you know, trying to erase any culture and any Chinese identity or ideas or ethnic backgrounds that don't happen to be a part of the Han culture or Han ethnic background within China. Which is a lot of what the current Chinese state is about. It's pretty much enforcing that type of supremacy. So they're, if anything, kind of far right on a lot of issues culturally. Like, pretty, if I dare say, kind of maybe even fascistic on some of their ideas culturally and socially. It's like, yeah, they might have some pretty decent economics and stuff, maybe, you know, to some stuff and to a certain degree. When it comes to, like, mass expansion, things like infrastructure and shit like that. But, I mean, it's like, that doesn't really negate the fact they're kind of, like, a bunch of supremacists, like, culturally and racially. Hong Kong's been in Chinese territory since ancient times, says one new textbook seen by the AP. While Hong Kong was occupied by the British following the Opium War, it remained a Chinese territory. No, it didn't. Like, I mean, sorry to break it to you there, bub. Or I guess, new Chinese textbooks, but that's, yeah, it was occupied by the British because they owned it. Like, during the Opium Wars, that was, like, a part of their concession was to acquire Hong Kong. I'm like, oh my god, these fucking people. Bruh. Like, the whole point of the Opium Wars was to, you know, put, subjugation, destabilize, the populace in the region so these colonists can gain power and control. I mean, what the... Like, what the fuck? Do they not... Like, really? On top of that, like, I mean, that was the whole point of propping up their warlords, so they got a cut out of things, was to ensure that those type of powers were stayed in place, and the people that tried to rebel against it were suppressed. My god, dude. And we got fucking far-right fascists here crying about how, like, oh, that queer agenda and the fucking, you know, being more open and understanding of, like, you know, systemic racism in this country. It's just like, yeah, maybe we should, you know, look at that. And they're like, ban it, boo, it's bad. CRT's groomer and it's all this and that. Nah. And then you got China fucking just, like, casually like, oh, yeah, we'll just kind of do that. And yet... You know, you won't hear the right, really. I mean, well, no, you will, actually. I mean, you'll hear about how they're like, oh, look, see, they're trying to, you know, destroy everything, make it like some sort of globalist unitary culture, see, this is what the left wants, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if you actually look at what the fuck they are, it's like, literally, no. As a leftist, I look at China, I'm like, that's even more disturbing than what America's got going on in a lot of ways, so, no thank you. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, totally as a leftist, I'm totally supportive, yeah, China, yeah. Especially now that they're like, oh yeah, Hong Kong, totally not a colony. Totally wasn't a British colony at all. It's just like, what the fuck, man? It is one of 4 set textbooks being offered in schools to replace those currently in use, all staying in the same position, Hong Kong, South China, Morning Post, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Was Hong Kong a colony? Question mark? Here's a quick answer. Yes, it literally was. Hong Kong was a British colony from 1841 until its handover to China's rule in 97, with the exception of Japanese occupation from 41 to 45. Well, yeah, World War II. Its colonial status was a result of a pair of 19th century treaties signed at the end of the First and Second Opium Wars, with the granting of a 99-year lends lease in 1898 to the new territories, which was greatly expanded the size of the colony. Oh, but yeah, they totally were not a colony, like, whatsoever. Like, at all. Like, what the fuck, dude? China's kind of sorry, which seized power during the Civil War. Yeah, okay, I already know that part. In late 20th century, China unwilling to extend the lease of new territories, and the colony not viable without them. Britain entered into are protected enough to contentious negotiations of over conditions to return to Hong Kong and China's rules. So, yeah, like, the fact that that's all, like, a thing, and that's, like, open, international, like, public, like, archive, like, shit that you could just know, like, I mean, outside, I guess, China now, is like, yeah, it's as if maybe Hong Kong was a British colony, and no amount of, like, trying to propagandize textbooks saying otherwise, you know, it's gonna, you know, negate that fact. I mean, it's like a bunch of fucking Southern textbooks in the U.S. and shit trying to negate the fact that slavery was either, like, a thing or a bad thing, and it actually is tacitly okay with it, and yet it doesn't really work that well. I mean, I guess to a degree it does to some, but not to the majority of people. They kind of see through that stupid bullshit. What, do you think, you know, a lot of people over there aren't? I mean, because of the Chinese state and how they, you know, oppress their own people and shit, way more efficiently than over here in America, because we at least have the ostensive protections in place. Even though the feds and police will do essentially similar shit. Especially from what I've seen. You know, they get a lot less of an opportunity to be rebellious about that type of shit. Or rabble-rouse, or protest on it. And if they do, they get a lot more of a harsher, quick crackdown of treatment versus the US, where we just hope it shuts up and goes away, which usually it does. Like, give it a week or two, then usually these type of things, they're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, we'll just move on to the next thing now. So, if anything, there's not even really much of a need to suppress that type of shit, because we just move on to the next thing within a week or two. Guess Chinese state is trying to hope for the same thing. But yeah, I think this just definitely proves that, yeah, if you're lefty and somehow support, you know, China, it's not exactly a good look. Especially considering that they're very racially, ethnically, and culturally supremacist when it comes to the Hong background and Hong culture of China. Which negates the entire fact that China is a very ethnically and culturally diverse region in Asia. So, yeah, the Chinese state, totally a great place. Totally. Looks like this article keeps going on, though. Kind of going for the history of this shit, but yeah, wow. I love it, though. China denied Hong Kong was a UK colony, dude. Wow. I didn't think I would see that, but honestly, in a way, I'm not too shocked from it. But considering how, like, prominent it is when it comes to history, you would think that that's just something you can't exactly just erase it, because there's... I guess you can, because, like I was saying, like, I mean, if, like, textbooks in the South and shit in America can, like, do that with slavery, then, you know, I mean, fuck this world. This world's absurd. But it was the postmodern left that was out there to destroy the truth and the chaos of the world. Destroy the order and put more chaos. That's all the left ever wanted. Even though it's a bunch of nationalists that tend to be doing that themselves. I always just have to think of, like, Jordan Peterson whenever I think of, like, order and chaos and shit, with, like, distilling this weird hyper order of, like, what is, like, the truth and the chaos of what isn't and all this bullshit, because it just seems so emulate with a lot of these different states, like in the US, Russia, China, and shit, where it's like we have to instill all order to cure the chaos that surround us and within our own borders and all this other stupid nationalistic poisonous shit. Ann Coulter dismantles the Dinesh D'Souza's stupid 2020 election propaganda documentary. Oh my god. I love it. At least it makes me it makes me feel better knowing that the left isn't the only one having a bunch of infighting. Because the right is too, a little bit. Because you got weirdos like Liz Cheney and Coulter and shit, fucking going after people like Dinesh D'Souza, fucking Marjorie Taylor and shit. I love it. I'm okay with it. Because it at least, you know, kind of keeps the far-right Christian fascist movement from being too organized. So, that, you know, that's why I always love it, because it at least keeps some of them from going too crazy, even though they already are crazy. Because Ann Coulter's just fucking psycho bitch crazy. But because people like Marjorie Taylor Greene exist, she now looks normal and sane in comparison. So it's just like, Jesus Christ. And that's kind of saying something, honestly, because Marjorie is fucking, like, psycho bitch. Like, she just needs to be in an asylum. I swear to God, she's partially illiterate. She's just fucking, just insane. Like, Jesus Christ. I wonder if she even had, like, if the muckrakers or the muckrackers or whatever that pack is, like, if they fucking, start digging up some shit about her, they need to, like, look up her education background. And be like, are you even qualified to even, like, hold office, let alone fucking run a janitor position at McDonald's? Let's see. Because I guarantee you she'll barely qualify for, like, a fucking, you know, McDonald's janitorial position, because, like, she'll look at a mop and be like, how do I use that? And I also guarantee you she'll probably, like, mix different cleaning agents and accidentally make some sort of chemical gas agent, like fucking mustard gas or some shit. Because honestly, what's fucking crazy is that there actually deadass is fucking, like, cleaning detergents and, like, cleaning agents that people have in their everyday household, that if you mix them in certain ways, you could just straight up make, like, gas, just like World War I style, like, chemical gas. Like mustard gas and shit. This is like, what the fuck? It's just like, Jesus. It's like, okay. Like, just like, we just kind of, you know, just if you know, it just happens to be. Because there's been some times where people will be like, I want to get this fucking horrible mess out. And, you know, we'll try, you know, clean it out and realize that one cleaning thing doesn't work, and then start mixing things. And it's just like, no, don't do that. You're very liable to make, like, a chemical agent that could kill you or severely injure you. So it's like, don't do that. I don't, like, I know it's basically two ingredients that would essentially make mustard gas, and it's like, they're very common, and it's like, what the fuck? And I guarantee you, some dumb, like, a dumb bitch like Marjorie Taylor Greene would easily be like, I want to clean this fucking, like, kitchen up a little bit or something, and, you know, like, in McDonald's or something, if she was working there and fucking mix that shit up and accidentally, like, gas up the entire fucking place and kill everybody. Like, she would just, like, do that. She's just that much of a dumbass psycho bitch. Everyone would tell her, yo, stop, and she'll be like, fake news, don't be a gazpacho police on me. I'm not gonna have the gazpacho police tell me what to do. Oops. Oh, a philosophy tube video. The Social Contract. Definitely one I'll have to check out. Probably later tonight. I was down to check out some philosophy tube videos, see what she's all making up. Always love those different little video essays, especially like the professional ones that like ContraPoints of philosophy to make up. Oh. There's even a song video. Who actually controls the gas prices? Two things to check out. But I'll get one more bowl loaded up and all that fun shit. Because I gotta get myself to work. I can already tell that this like 6-day work week is gonna beat the fuck out of me. Shit. Ugh. I definitely want to start learning some Dead Kennedy songs, because honestly there's a lot of them that actually are pretty easy. Like this song is actually kind of easy. It's considering that the main riff is just do 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 do. It's just octaves. But then this one's a little different. It's like do 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 do. Then changes a little bit here. So there's a couple differences in the overall lick, but overall pretty simple, easy song. Anyway, I'll call it good for now at least, but of course, be back after later tonight. I get off work and all that fun shit. Ugh. Oh my god, just thinking about it's already making me drained. Ugh.